Again, Clemson Sports Talk on a Thursday afternoon. Thank you for being a part of the program. Roddy Jones, again, coming up in hour number 2 in place of legendary Clemson SID Tim Bray. If you're watching the show for the first time, hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. Be a part of the show. Let's see. What do we got out to? Luke says, did I hear Dabo say the same 5 offensive linemen played the entire Georgia Tech game, that he has 8 that he feels comfortable with, and they all will be playing this Saturday? Well, I don't remember if he said 5, but I do know they did not rotate much at all, if any. And, they've already got several players that have been banged up this season off of that offensive line. So, again, the continuity of that group last year, even if you go back a year ago, Luke, right? I mean, it was still what we would call tough sledding for Clemson running the ball. Even with Travis Etienne. I mean, that was a hindrance to that team the entire season. And with minus Trevor Lawrence's ability to pull the ball down and rush the football, I hate to think what it might have looked like. And so whether it's Lawrence, whether it's Watson, whether it's Kelly Bryant, whether it's Taj Boyd, I mean, each of those quarterbacks, to me, felt like a willing participant in the run game. Like, I don't remember at any moment in any of their careers, shockingly, including Lawrence, where the conversations were, dude, he just looks like he doesn't want to run the football. Watching DJ in that opener against Georgia, there were several plays where DJ's got 7 to maybe 15 yards in front of him. And yeah, there's probably a linebacker closing his direction. But looking at it, I feel moderately comfortable saying that he would have picked up 5 yards, maybe more, make a man miss, and who knows? I mean, you get some of these DBs in man coverage, and all of a sudden you make one guy miss, you're running for days before they figure out what's happening behind them. So for me, I think a part of the success that Clemson's got to have on the ground is going to have to come from DJ. It's going to have to. And I think, consequently, because of that, if you can get DJ to be a more willing participant, not just in the run game when you're running some RPOs and keeping the ball, but literally when you're looking downfield, stepping up in the pocket, finding a little crease and taking it. Now, the offensive line's got to help too. But some of that's got to come, in my opinion, just from DJ. And if it doesn't, then to me, the things that we've seen hinder this offense this year will continue to be a hindrance to this team. I think it's also frustrating when you hear the coaching staff talk about the fact that they've had to work on DJ carrying the football in the correct arm. So if you're running left, you got the ball in your left arm. Your off arm, what you would call the arm furthest away from the majority of the defenders on the field. Same thing when you're going to your right. Keeping that ball tucked in your off arm. And when you are a college football player, and I don't care if you played football at St. John Bosco or Barnwell High School. Those are things that I don't think should have to be taught at the collegiate level. Like, nothing frustrated me more as a guy who played basketball and was very good with his left hand going to the basket. Nothing really frustrated me a whole lot more growing up, and even now still when I watch a game, whether it's the NBA or whether it's college, and they celebrate a guy that shoots the ball with his left hand on a layup. Oh, look at him attack the rack with the left hand. Dude, he's playing college basketball. If he can attack the basket with his left hand, his offhand, and get to the rim and finish by the cup, then guess what? That's your story. Not that he can. That's fundamentally sound. Carrying the football in the correct arm, that's fundamentally sound. Now, if DJ throws a perfect spiral 75 yards down the field and hits a guy in stride, now you yell. That's something to behold. So it's like, just hearing that's a fundamental little thing that is frustrating for me that shouldn't be happening. 803-450-0086. It is the show that shakes the Southland. Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan with you. Esley says, I was glad to see some emotion from DJ against Georgia Tech. Right, Esley? And when did that happen? When he started taking some hits, getting the ball, having to run it a little bit. And that, I think, will help him. I do believe that will help him. He's got to run the football. I agree 100%. Jake says, Swanny, I'm glad we saw the same thing in the Georgia game. Says, speaking straight facts. You have to, as a quarterback of this team, this year especially, minus Travis Etienne, who had this incredible ability to make chicken salad out of chicken giblets, you have to, as the quarterback, be willing to take on not just a little bit of the running, but you're going to have to become a threat to rush. Now the linebackers have to respect you. Now you open up the field just behind those guys, and if somebody's trying to cover you on, with some of those robber coverages and things they're doing on the back end, now you got some stuff underneath. But if QB1's not a threat and you're not hitting anything out in the flats or dumping the ball off and having your running backs match up with a linebacker in space, I don't know how you expect to be very successful. We'll hit a quick break. We'll come back with more of the show that shakes the South.